Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into a seriously exciting tech showdown to explore the cutting-edge future of electric driving. If you've walked through a parking lot or sat at a fast charger recently, you've definitely seen this shift happening right before your eyes. We're looking at vehicles that aren't just cars anymore. They are literally smartphones on wheels. And today, we're comparing three of the absolute heavyweights in the premium electric SUV market: the XPeng G6, the Tesla Model Y, and the Polestar 4. So let's dive right in. Here's the game plan for today. We'll introduce our contenders, battle it out over software and ecosystems, look at raw performance and charging, explore design and practicality, and finally, help you choose your perfect ride. Now, I want to kick things off with this quote because it really hits the nail on the head. For years, Tesla was just the default, right? It was the iPhone of cars. But wow, is the old guard shifting. We've got incredibly capable new challengers rolling onto the scene, packing hardware and software tricks that are completely shaking up the whole industry. All right, round one, meet the contenders. The challenger, the king, and the artist. So let's look at our three combatants and their core philosophies. First up, we've got the XPeng G6, our tech disruptor. This is the new kid on the block, leaning heavily into ultra-advanced 800-volt hardware and some really disruptive pricing. Next is the Tesla Model Y, the ecosystem king. It relies on years of software refinement and, of course, that unbeatable charging network. And finally, the Polestar 4, the design icon. It brings pure, stunning Scandinavian luxury, a super sporty stance, and a massive focus on driving dynamics. Moving on to round two, software and ecosystems. It's the battle of the operating systems. The contrast in software philosophies here is kind of wild. It's basically the classic Apple versus Android debate, but, for two-ton vehicles. On one side, Tesla uses a proprietary, highly polished, totally locked-down OS. It works flawlessly, especially when it's routing you to Superchargers, but it absolutely refuses to play ball with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. On the flip side, both XPeng and Polestar use variations of Android Automotive. This means you get a much more open ecosystem, giving you the freedom to seamlessly mirror your smartphone right onto the car's displays. When we dig into the actual day-to-day user experience, well, Tesla gives you a near-magical app where your phone is your key. But the rivals are fighting back hard. XPeng delightfully brings back physical stalks on the steering column for things like wipers, which Tesla controversially ditched, by the way, and pairs it with a super responsive Hey XPeng AI assistant. Polestar, they just natively bake your digital life right into the dash with Google Maps and the Play Store. Okay, round three. Performance and charging. The power to move. All right, the absolutely crucial takeaway here is this massive number, 800 volts. While Tesla and Polestar are running on older 400-volt architectures, the XPeng G6's 800-volt system lets it literally inhale electrons. Hook this thing up to an ultra-fast charger, and it zooms from 10 to 80% in as little as 12 to 20 minutes. Seriously, they'll be back on the highway before your coffee even cools down. And let's talk raw power, because these numbers are insane. If you want thrills, the Polestar 4's dual-motor setup delivers a brutal 544 horsepower, sprinting from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 3.8 seconds. That is incredibly fast. The XPeng is right on its heels at 4.1 seconds, and the Tesla Model Y long range does it in 4.3. I mean, we are talking legitimate sports car numbers packed inside everyday family SUVs. But as we know, sheer power comes at a cost. Looking at this efficiency chart, the Tesla Model Y proves it's still the undisputed king of squeezing every last drop of range out of its battery. Thanks to a super aerodynamic shape and a much lighter weight, it's actually hundreds of kilos lighter than the Polestar. The Tesla consumes only about 16 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers in the real world. The XPeng is really competitive, but that heavy, powerful Polestar? Yeah, it needs significantly more energy to get around. Round 4, design and practicality. Let's see what living with the future actually looks like. 0. Yup, that is exactly how many rear windows the Polestar 4 has. Polestar daringly just removed the rear glass entirely. Instead, they use a high-definition digital camera that feeds right into your rearview mirror. It is a wildly bold choice, but it creates this striking, super aerodynamic profile, and surprisingly makes the back seats feel incredibly spacious despite the sloping roofline. But beyond the glass, or lack thereof, when it comes to hauling your gear, Tesla completely crushes the competition. It boasts massive combined cargo space, which importantly includes a highly practical 117-liter front trunk, or frunk. The XPeng completely lacks a frunk, and the Polestar's is a tiny 15 liters, honestly barely enough for a charging cable. For a family road trip, Tesla's packaging is just incredibly hard to beat. Don't count the others out just yet, though. XPeng fights back with standard vehicle-to-load tech. It basically turns the SUV into a giant power bank, so you can plug in a mini fridge or a laptop right at your campsite. Pretty sweet, right? Meanwhile, Tesla leans into ultimate road trip storage. And Polestar? Well, Polestar simply wraps you in pure, unrivaled Scandinavian luxury. The premium recycled materials and beautiful Napa leather make the others feel kind of bare bones in comparison. Finally, round 5. Choosing your perfect ride. Let's get to the final verdict. Think of this as your ultimate cheat sheet. If you want the absolute best tech per dollar, mind-blowing 800-volt charging, and the freedom of Apple CarPlay, the XPeng G6 is your disruptor. If you want a proven, seamless charging ecosystem, max cargo space, and unbeatable efficiency, the Tesla Model Y is still the rational king. But if you want to turn heads, carve corners, and sit in a cabin that feels like a high-end lounge, the Polestar 4 is absolutely your artist. As these giant smartphones on wheels continue to evolve at lightning speed, they're really pushing the boundaries of what a car can be. What we do know for sure is that the real winner right now is anyone making the leap to EV. The sheer variety out there guarantees you'll find an innovative option built perfectly for your lifestyle. Well, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for joining us for this explainer. I really hope you're walking away having learned something new and exciting about the electric revolution happening right outside our doors. So as you head out onto the road today, I'll leave you with this. Will open tech, a closed ecosystem, or pure emotional design ultimately rule the highways of tomorrow? Keep questioning, keep learning, and we'll see you next time.